Hello friends, welcome to the session on communication electronics. In this session, we'll be discussing about one important phenomenon called as the dispersion in optical fiber. Whenever the light ray is propagated through the optical fiber, then there are different types of distortions that appears in the propagation of the light rays. In this session, we'll be discussing about what is dispersion and what are the different types of dispersion that appears when the light is propagated through the optical fiber. Friends, as you know that you are viewing this session on my YouTube channel, Learn with Prakash Kanade, and subscribe to the channel to see many videos on the subjects of electronics and computer science. So let us start the session with what we mean by distortions in optical fiber. Whenever the light is propagated through the optical fiber, then there are two common types of distortions that appears for the propagation of light ray. The first distortion is being called as the dispersion, and the second distortion is being called as the attenuation. So attenuation, you can say, is a kind of resistance to the propagation of light through the optical fiber. This resistance or attenuation appears due to the bending of the fiber, or sometimes the fiber material will absorb the light, or sometimes there is a phenomenon of scattering of the light through the fiber, and because of which the light is lost in the propagation when it is propagated through the fiber. Now, there is another type of distortion that appears to the propagation of light through the fiber, and it is being called as the dispersion. The dispersion, you can say that when the light is propagated or when the light pulse is propagated, then the original pulse will change its shape. It will get more wider, and that is to be called as the dispersion. This dispersion can be of different type. Say, for example, we can have a intramodal dispersion, we can have intermodal dispersion, and we can have the polarized mode dispersion. Intramodal dispersion may appear due to material, or it can be either a waveguide dispersion. So as far as this session is concerned, we are going to discuss mainly about what we mean by dispersion. And in another session, we will go for the different losses in the optical fiber. So let us go for the understanding of what we mean by dispersion of the light ray in the fiber. So as I told you, when the light is propagated through the fiber, then it will suffer from the various distortions. And these distortions are mainly either dispersion or attenuation. Dispersion, you can say that it is a kind of spreading of the light. So whenever the light is propagated through the fiber, and then the light ray will have to travel a long length through the fiber. Sometimes the fiber length is of several kilometers. In such a case, there is a spreading of the light when it is propagated through the fiber, and this spreading of the light is being called as the dispersion. Say, for example, we have an input pulse of which the width is W1. And when this pulse is propagated through the fiber, then at the end, we will receive a pulse of which the width is W2. So one can easily observe that the width W2 is higher than that of the input pulse width W1. So this effect is being called as a dispersion. And dispersion effect is also called as the pulse broadening effect, because here one can easily observe that the original pulse width is being extended, and therefore this is being called as a pulse broadening effect. The pulse that appears at the output is more wider than that of the input pulse. So input pulse many times is short in the width, but at the output we will get a pulse of which the width is more than that of the input pulse. So if W1 is the width of the input pulse and W2 is the width of the output pulse, then one can easily observe that due to dispersion, W2 is greater than W1. So we can define the fiber dispersion as dt is equal to under root of W2 square minus W1 square. So dispersion is being measured in the terms of units of time, and many times it is measured in the form of nanosecond or picoseconds. So dispersion is measured in the form of time, and the unit for this time is either nanosecond, that is 10 to the power minus 9 second, or picosecond, that is 10 to the power minus 12 second. Again, the dispersion in the fiber will depend upon the length of the fiber. And therefore, whenever we want to write the dispersion, then it is being written as nanosecond per kilometer. So dispersion can be rewritten as dt is equal to length of the fiber multiplied by dispersion per kilometer, where L is the length of the fiber. So as the length goes on increasing, then the dispersion will also goes on increasing. Dispersion is very important attenuation because it will limit the bandwidth or the information carrying capacity of the fiber. So every attempt must be made in order to keep this dispersion small, because if this dispersion is small, then we can have a larger bandwidth optical fiber. Now, as we have seen, there are three types of dispersions. The first dispersion is being called as a intermodal dispersion. Other dispersion is an intramodal dispersion. And the third dispersion is being called as the polarized mode dispersion. So let us see what we mean by these three different types of dispersions. Intermodal dispersion will result from the fact that the light wave propagates through the fiber in different modes at the different group velocities. We know that whenever the light is injected into the fiber, then some of the light rays will travel along the axis of the fiber. Some of the light rays will trace a zigzag path along the fiber. That is, we know that when the light rays are propagated through the fiber, then they are propagated at different modes, and therefore they will have the different velocities. And therefore, whenever they reach to the other end of the fiber, then we will find that there will be a spreading of the light ray. Another type of the dispersion that is being called as the intramodal dispersion. An intramodal dispersion can be further classified into a material dispersion and the waveguide dispersion. Material dispersion will result from the fact that the refractive index of the medium changes with the wavelength of the light. So if the wavelength is changed, then you will find that the refractive index of the medium will also get changed. And because of this, some kind of dispersion is being introduced in the propagation of light, and that is being called as the material dispersion. Another dispersion that appears in the fiber is called as the waveguide dispersion, because whenever we propagate the different wavelengths, then every different wavelength will have a kind of different delay when it reaches to the other end of the fiber. And therefore, the dispersion is being introduced, and this dispersion is being called as the waveguide dispersion. Another type of the dispersion that is being called as the polarized mode dispersion. So polarized mode dispersion appears in the optical fiber because of change in the propagation of direction of light. So whenever the light rays are propagated through the fiber, then there is a change in the direction of the light. And this direction of the light gets changed because of change in the refractive index. And the change in the refractive index appears due to polarization. And therefore, such dispersion is being called as the polarized mode dispersion. Now, as far as this session is concerned, we are going to discuss about the intermodal dispersion. And we will obtain the expression for the intermodal dispersion. When the optical power is being launched into the fiber, then we know that this optical power is being distributed over the different modes of the fiber. Say, for example, some of the light rays will travel along the axis of the fiber, and this is being called as the zero mode. And this path of the light ray is the shortest path. Some of the light rays will travel along the zigzag path along the fiber. And in that case, you will find that they will have the different modes of propagation through the optical fiber. So when all such light rays when they trace the different path through the optical fiber and when they reach to the end of the fiber, then there is a difference in the propagation time for the different modes. And because of this, the dispersion is being produced in the optical fiber. So the light rays that will travel along the x-axis, then the propagation angle is zero. And in that case, that mode is being called as the zero mode. And this is the shortest path for the light ray to travel through the fiber. Now for the zero mode, the travel time is minimum, and this time can be given by the equation TD0 is equal to L divided by V1, where L is the length of the fiber, V1 is the velocity of the light ray traveling through the fiber. But V1 can be written as C divided by N1, and therefore this time period can be calculated as L into N1 divided by C, where N1 is the refractive index of the core. Now, when the light rays are traveling at the critical angle, then the delay is the maximum. And this delay can be calculated by using the formula TDC is equal to L divided by cos of theta C divided by V1. So this is just nothing but when we substitute the value of V1 as C divided by N1, then it is L into N1 divided by cos of theta C into C, where theta C is the critical angle. Now the time difference between these two can be calculated as TDC minus TD0, and it will represent the pulse width dt at the output. And therefore dt is equal to TDC minus TD0, which is equal to L into N1 divided by cos of theta C into C minus L into N1 divided by C minus divided by C. But we know that cos of theta C is just nothing but N2 divided by N1, and therefore we can write this equation as dt is equal to L into N1 divided by C into N1 minus N2 divided by N2, which is just nothing but Ln1 divided by C into delta. But we know that the symmetrical difference, we know that the numerical aperture for the optical fiber can be given in the form of the difference, symmetrical difference delta, and numerical aperture can be written as under root n1 square minus n2 square, which is just nothing but n1 into under root twice of delta. And therefore we can rewrite this equation dt is equal to L into Na square divided by twice n1 into C. So this dt is the amount of pulse broadening, and dt upon L is the broadening per unit length of the fiber. So this is the formula through which we can obtain the intermodal dispersion through the optical fiber. So thank you friends for viewing the session. Hopefully you have understood what we mean by dispersion in optical fiber. Thank you all for viewing the session.